What are you entitled to? Life? Death? Something else? Nothing at all? What if the thing you're entitled to is not what you wanted or even desired? Would you reject it? Today, we shall meet a man who chose not to reject the idea of entitlement, but to mould it into his own creation. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Rapture.
They told me, son, you're special. You were born to do great things. You know what? They were right.
It's the name of the game. That's the kind of symbolism you're going to get from me. Okay, here we go. So, this opening area is incredible. I've got all my notes here so I don't miss anything as well. So we know it's set in 1960. We're in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, so we're away from any international kind of laws as well. We saw in that opening video images of what we assume to be our protagonist here, Jack. It said on the message, it said, would you not kindly open this, love mum and dad until blah blah blah. Worth remembering that. And we saw that picture of him standing with what we could presume to be his parents. Then all fade to black and we crash. Now this is really interesting, and something you may notice in other narrative games as well as films. We started in water. Now obviously the plane crashed in water, so it's natural, but whenever a story begins in water, it sort of symbolises a renewal or a rebirth. And what that kind of means is that this person has a past or a history, and they're sort of being cleansed into this new world, which for us is us birthing and coming out of the water, which is contrast with someone who awakens in a bed, for example. Someone awakens in a bed, they are conscious, they have a past, it's probably not that relevant because we're starting a new day in that person's life. So it's starting fresh, whereas in the water, we're kind of forgetting the past, but it's very important, so it may come back around. Okay, so that's quite crucial. Now this whole opening area is just full of contradiction and hypocrisy. Okay, and that's quite a prevalent theme throughout the whole game and pretty much the whole series as well. And one of the most obvious ones, is this, the fire on water. Now obviously oil is being spilled onto the surface of the water via the plane crash, but we're literally getting the contradictory of elements. It's sort of like a baptism, really, and a baptism by fire, clearly. So already we know we're called Jack. We don't really know too much about ourselves, but we're already being kind of rebirthed into a whole new world. And this is the remastered version, by the way, which is actually our first time, I think, actually playing the remastered version. I did all my all my notes on a laptop, so it could only run the original. But it looks absolutely beautiful. We're going to see more of this kind of contradiction as we go on. We've got the plane there. That's going to slowly sink, and on the wing it's actually the name of the airline. I think it may have just slightly gone, but it's got the wing, and it's got like a bird image, almost like a bird shot down into the ocean, now sinking. Birds and flight, it makes sense, doesn't it? But it's something worth noting as we head up to the lighthouse now. And the lighthouse in of itself, I mean, we're calling it a lighthouse. But again, look at the contradiction. It's surrounded by water. Lighthouses are to show that there is land ahoy. It's to warn passing ships. At the very least, be a beacon to them to say that there is land, and if you're lost. But this is obviously a beacon of some sort, but it's in the middle of nowhere. It's not really a lighthouse, and yet it is one. We can get a good view of this here, and a great shot of the moon. Great shot of the moon there, reflecting in the water. It's all very well done. This version of the game. We have the R symbol there, almost like a stamp or seal, like you would stamp an envelope with your R. So the R obviously belongs to someone very important, somebody who thinks very highly of themselves, especially if it's their name, which you must assume it is. We've got massive doors, which just open randomly. Let's head inside. Let's head inside. Quite an ominous image to awaken to. No gods or kings, only man. And yet, he frames the statement with a massive statue of himself bearing down. No gods or kings, only man. And yet, here we look up at the figure, we look up on high at the sky, to what is clearly somebody who thinks themselves divine, as he looks down on us, much like a ruler looks down upon his populace. So again, we got some contradiction there. Who is this man? Let's see. In what country is there a place for people like me? Andrew Ryan. So here we have what we presume to be Andrew Ryan, a man who quite clearly is sick to death of the world. And bronze, you reckon? Bronze? There's a gold motif to it, isn't there? But I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, a man who's sick of the world, and he's come here, or he has crafted this place. Let me get rid of that, because that's annoying me. Let me check the gameplay options here. Yeah, art subtitles off. Yeah, let's get rid of that. That's bloody annoying. Okay. So yes, we already draw some pictures. Who closed that door? That was rather odd. Strange things are afoot. Let's move on in. Okay, so already we're seeing we've got this the Great Chain written underneath here. That will become more prevalent soon. So we head down. This image here, and it was on the walls up there as well. The fish coming out of the water. We got a mix of elements here. We can see the sun. We got the water there. The implication of air in between them, and of course the evolution of man itself coming from the waters onto land, which is rather strange compared to where we're about to head. So again, we got that contradiction, which all the elements are, of course, the foundation of all matter, really, in some context. But we're going to see the reverse of this, the contrast of where we're heading compared to what that image sort of shows us. So yes, here we go. We come down here, and the bathysphere. And I want to, and you can still see him bearing down on us as we make our approach. And these are quite interesting here. So over here we've got science. Okay, we've got science. We're going to ignore that one in the middle for a moment. It is an incredible soundtrack, absolutely. We've got art, which would include music as well. Okay, and in the middle we have industry. And you may notice the image of two hands coming together to meet. From the left, science, from the right, art. And they meet in the middle and form the industry. The industry of that man. Is the free. Okay. There are what I like to call magic numbers. When we see when we try to get symbolism from a numerical value, it sometimes has deeper ulterior motives. For example, 1 would simply be the self, or your lone person and being, your mind state, your everything that makes you 1. If it's 2, then that's duplicity. You'll either have conflicting, opposing, like two sides of the same coin, sort of thing, opposing natures, or you'll have balance in them. You'll have wholesomeness coming together as one, and they can be conflicting. The yin yang, for example, is a great recognizing symbol around the world of that balance, often adopted for peace. Two sides coming together for equal harmony. 3 is the holy number. Okay, so here we've got the 3, which it's holy number. 3 is often referred to as the holy number. 3 p.m. is considered God's hour, which is why 3 a.m. is the witching hour, because it mocks the Trinity, the Holy Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Ghost. And there's also spirituality to the holy number. We have that in the past, present, and future. We have that in many other forms. The conscious, the unconscious. Sometimes the third one is referred to as subconscious. It's not always the third one. But we have these layers, and 3 is a very powerful number. It is the magic number as well, and that's one of the reasons why. 4 is your elements. It's the foundation of real matter. The 4 pillars would hold up a roof. 4 walls make a room. There's some foundation there, some comfort in 4. It's also very balanced. Yes, so 5 tends to be a guiding light. It's also the star obviously has 5 points. Pentagrams often. Oh no, you're fine. Pentagrams are often guidance to the dead to come into the living. 6 is obviously the evil number, adopted to mock the Trinity. It's double the holy number, therefore apparently more powerful. And this goes on. 12 is quite a prominent one as well. But you see, we're going to see these magic numbers come up from time to time, especially 3. Another thing we should point out just briefly before we go into the actual bathysphere is art and science are opposed, and they meet in the middle. And the reason why they're opposed is because science tends to be the more rational and logical mindset, whereas the art tends to be the more emotional mindset. And this often comes across in the masculine energy of science and the feminine energy of art. And I have to clarify, that does not mean male and female, okay, because that's often misconstrued. It's more of an energy, and one can't exist without the other. Here, though, they're kind of being forced to meet in the middle, and to be harnessed into the world we're about to enter. And the last thing, in terms of contradiction and hypocrisy, a lighthouse tends to, when you enter, go up towards the light, towards the sky. Instead, we went down. Instead of ascending to heaven towards the light, we are now about to enter what could be considered the hell?
I am Andrew Ryan, and I'm here to ask you a question. Is a man not entitled to the sweat of his brow? No, says the man in Washington, it belongs to the poor. No, says the man in the Vatican, it belongs to God. No, says the man in Moscow, it belongs to everyone. I rejected those answers. Instead, I chose something different. I chose the impossible. I chose Rapture. A city where the artist would not fear the censor, where the scientist would not be bound by petty morality, where the great would not be constrained by the small. And with the sweat of your brow, Rapture can become your city as well.
So this is Rapture. Whale. We can see the very capitalistic nature of it. All good things of this earth flow into the city of Rapture. Okay, so we can make a note there that this bathysphere, or at the very least the lighthouse, is being monitored in some way. Of course, the door's closed. We knew something was going on there. The doors were open as well. But also, they immediately knew that the bathysphere was moving, where to meet it, where it was going, everything.
Just one more minute. The spear's coming up now. Johnny, security's banging off all over. Get a move on.
No trespass. Just don't hurt me. Just let me go. You keep my gun.
Ooh. Nasty. And look at the hideous face on that. Not me.
Is it someone new?
Oh. How's the frame rate, by the way? Is everything okay? Oh.
Would you kindly pick up that shortwave radio? I don't know how you survived that plane crash, but
Okay,
I never
cool.
want to question Providence. I'm Atlas, and I aim to keep you alive. Now keep on moving. We're gonna have to get you to higher ground.
Okay, a lot happened there.
Take a deep breath and step out of the bathysphere. I won't leave you twisting in the wind.
Okay, so a lot happened in what we saw there in that opening package. We now know Ryan's intentions, why he built Rapture. Okay, he felt rejected by society as a whole, and he wanted to create a utopia of his own political belief, or at the very least, his own philosophy on freedom and what that means, and a place built on freedom. Although it's probably built on his idea of freedom. You notice there's deformities there on those individuals. So something creepy is happening. So I've got some notes actually. I'm gonna quickly pull these up and get them as an overlay for me. Just bear with me because I need to do that. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So now Atlas. We'll start with Atlas, the guy that has contacted us via the radio. So the name Atlas is very interesting because it has many meanings in connotation with this game and his role. So obviously the first thing you think of an atlas might be a globe or a map of the world, which is quite apt because he is going to act as our guide through this world of Rapture. So one of the key things about this game, which I think may be quite understated, is its links to the Greek pantheon, which is not by any means coincidental when we're talking about a world which is meant to be free of God, and that only man is the ruling factor, whereas these gods of the Greek pantheon were men of high power. So Atlas, he in the Greek pantheon, he was condemned to hold up the heavens. He's often depicted with having a globe or the equivalent of on his back. He was condemned to that for an eternity, and the reason for that, because he joined the Titans against the Olympians in battle. I'm not going to go fully into Atlas, but only the points that are actually going to make some connection with this story that's going to play out here. What we can interpret from Atlas as an image carrying the globe is that it's usually associated with carrying a heavy secret or a heavy burden. I suppose it could be both, but there is some distinction there. The figure fights from below, taking on a lot of responsibility, or is forced into a given situation. And not only that, but Prometheus was the brother of Atlas, and we're gonna. Prometheus is also a prominent name in this game, and we'll come back around to that when it comes up. The other thing is, of course, Rapture is actually located in the Atlantic Ocean. So Atlas, again, sort of being the driving force here behind us. Yes, another thing we should mention is Rapture. We now know the name of this place is Rapture, which obviously comes with its own religious connotations. The Christians believe that it was the end time for the conscious world, the physical world. All believers would rise into the clouds to meet the Lord. So you can't help but think that Ryan has named this place almost spitting in the face of religion, as it were, blasphemy. We are not ascending into the heavens; we are descending into the oceans. Very hypocritical, and that hypocrisy again comes through from that opening area of the lighthouse. It's all coming together as a very hypocritical stance on a belief that hasn't really been thought through. But maybe that's just my opinion, we'll see. Also, his name, Andrew Ryan, we should bring this up. I don't want to dwell on it for too long. Is kind of a, I don't know, it's not kind of a derivative of the name Ayn Rand. Ayn Rand, I don't know how you would say that, her name, it's very complicated to say, but she was a writer and a philosopher, and she wrote notable works like The Fountainhead and Atlas Shrugged. Again, Atlas, we're seeing a connection there, and she came up with the philosophical belief of objectivism, which is sort of a belief in the individual rights for the people in a pro-capitalistic structure. The concept of, here's a quote that may sum it up: the concept of man as a heroic being with his own happiness as the moral purpose of his life, with productive achievement as his noblest activity, and reason as his only absolute. So if it can be reasoned and it can be justified, then morals, compassion, altruistic natures are swept aside in favour of progress of oneself. And this is kind of reflected in Ryan and his ideology here. He couldn't find that on the surface. All he found was bureaucracy, proposed the capitalism, the communism of the world, or the religious sects indoctrinating doctor narrator. I can't say that word, but you know what I meant. Getting the populace to follow along. He saw control. He wanted freedom, so he created his freedom. I think we've sat in this for too long now, twisting in the wind. I think we should progress forward.
We're gonna need to draw out of hiding, but you're gonna have to trust me.
So one of these things, this whatever that was, that mutated creature, is still around. Here we see this sign over in the distance. The Great Chain is guided by our hand. Now, when you see that, it kind of tells you that this place was meant to be a kind of haven for us all to pull our own way in life, our own part of the chain. And if we all go in our own way as an individual, we'll pull the great chain of progress along with us. If we have the freedom to achieve how ideologies individually, then a greater purpose and a greater progress of humanity will be formed. There is something else to that, and we'll come back to the Great Chain later on. And we can see all the signs and billboards here. And these statues here are very influenced by the Art Deco of the early 20th century. This was built in 1960, so I suppose it was kind of coming back around. But then again, I suppose it would have been built before that. We've got all these suitcases here just lying around. Why are the suitcases here? That's the question. Why weren't they taken aboard if people wanted to leave? Why didn't they leave? We've got this Vita chamber here. This is if you die, which of course I won't die. But if I did, I'll be respawning here. There's not much to say about the Vita chamber, other than that the idea behind it is kind of the idea of progress, in a way, that has been founded here. Clearly for experimentation and probably a lot of death. We've been able to rejuvenate an individual. There is some interesting theories about the Vita chamber connecting to Bioshock Infinite, but we won't talk about that now. You can look that up if you're interested. Let's progress forward. We've got these pickets here. Rapture is dead. Opposite of Futurama's suicide phone booth. Yes, I suppose it is really. Go into a box and come back alive. I suppose you materialise in the box. Rapture is dead. So here we go. We're already seeing dissension here. There's already been conflict. We're not your property. That one says, Ryan doesn't own us. Let it end. Let us ascend. Ryan doesn't own us. Yeah, Rapture is dead. So there's clearly been protests here. People wanting to leave. And judging by the suitcases, they were not able to. And here we go. We've got this sign here. Oh. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, I just adjusted my notes there. So we got this sign here that says Rapture. Attention, all bathysphere travel is now denied. So if they've been denied, how did we travel in one? What was it doing on the surface? Did someone leave before, or was that the first time that's been used in a long time? What has changed to allow us to enter here? Let's progress forward. I'm getting some weird lighting effects here. I don't know if that's showing up on the stream, but it's janky for me. I can live with it. Okay. See all these transit stations. They've all been cancelled. Everything's been denied. So even if this wasn't the only bathysphere station, they've all been denied access to them. And there is carnage here. Oh. Okay, we've got some kind of camera.
Now, would you kindly find a crowbar or something? Bloody splicer. Seal Johnny in before they... Goddamn splicers.
A splicer would... I mean, if you're splicing something, you're cutting something. Normally, I hear that in association with splicing atoms, genes, perhaps. So it's interesting. We've seen mutations on their physical form. We notice the camera camera up here, and that automated bot. There seems to be some kind of mechanical. So many small details that play a big part of the story that I feel like I missed. Oh yeah, we're only just starting. But it is amazing how this game has been crafted. Ken Levine, the director, is incredible. It's one of those things that Bioshock 2 doesn't quite have. It wasn't made by Ken Levine. But then Bioshock Infinite came out, and it does have it all again. And so a lot of people see the series as just one thing, but it's more like two games with one in between made by the publisher, rather than the developer, I suppose. Let's pick up this crowbar. Now, the interesting thing about the crowbar is that it's not a crowbar. I don't know why I said that. It's a wrench. So there you go. Don't forget, crowbars are Half-Life, wrenches are Bioshock. So we're all ready to do combat. Oh dear. Okay, I think we're ready to go. I was saying about the camera. There seems to be some surveillance system going on here. Maybe why they were able to tell we were in the bathysphere. It seems to be with the bots. Again, technology coming around, drones. We're starting to see that in real life. Obviously, this was nearly 15 years ago that it was developed. Leaky. Oh, really? Oh dear. Get that sorted. Okay, let's go through. Oh, is that gonna? Oh, it stopped halfway. That normally comes all the way down the bottom. That's not as intimidating now. Oh dear. What are the wrist tattoos? Ah, yes. It seems like a chain, doesn't it? We see the chain, and it will play a more pivotal role later on. But yes, good for pointing it out. He does have chains on his wrist there. A small chain. Who is that bloody screaming? Okay, we'll come back and have a look at these in a minute.
I didn't.
You didn't what? Yeah. Oh, well, you ain't gonna hit me there, mate. You ain't gonna hit me there. Yeah, take that, you git. All right, let's take those. All right. Okay. Let's head back and have a look at these. For discriminating tastes, cigarettes. Obviously, around this time, cigarettes being advertised is not all that uncommon, but obviously for today's society, this is quite absurd. So, yeah, I mean, it's not too far, but you can obviously see that the advertisements are quite prominent here, and a lot of people decided to take up business here. Rapture Radio. I'm curious to know whether the tower, the lighthouse that we entered, is actually some kind of transmitter, because you wouldn't believe that radio transmitters could actually take place underwater. I'm not too aware of the technology on that, but it makes sense that they would have that up there as a sort of transmitter and receiver. Oh boy, what a floor show every night. It's not my life. There we go. Tee off for heaven, I think. Nico time, and I think that's cigarettes again. Great. Smoking, as the Mask would say back in the 90s. Okay. Welcome to Rapture. Opportunity awaits. Selling the idea that an individual here can achieve whatever they wish. It's selling the idea of utopia. And again, no god, no kings, only man. And the decor here, the statues of man bearing down, towering over us. Seculus, is that Latin? Found no meaning behind why that's Latin other than it just looks cool, to be honest with you. I suppose Latin does give stuff a bit more importance, doesn't it? Here we got a little statue of the city. Rapture, November 5th, 1946. One man's vision, mankind's salvation. So now we know when it was built. It was about what was that, 14 years ago up to this date. So it's not been around for too long before everything went to shit, for lack of a better term there. So, yeah, there was some happy living here, clearly, at some point. This is a pneumo tube. That's not quite uncommon. And I suppose in the underwater environment that makes sense. You see them in supermarkets. Not much anymore. One thing I've always wondered about this game is how the windows remain intact. I mean, the pressure down here is absurd, especially with all the lights running. Like electricity? Oh, dangerous. Okay, so yes, look, stairs are out. Fires everywhere. Kicking that around because I can. Special glass, water rated X. Oh, it must be something special. Okay, and here we got this quite big, eye-catching billboard. Just wait for her to finish. Oh, it's Kiss, right? Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. I forgot about the. I forgot that means Kiss. I've never used them or received them. Anyway, pick your plasmid and evolve. Okay, so plasmid, often I say often plasmid, plasma, radioactive material. So now we can make a link between this and clearly the people we've met so far with these hideous mutations. It's got to be a link, right? They must mutate the body through this plasma, or these plasmids as they're being solved. The wondrous world of Rapture, and it looks like they give superhuman abilities. So progress has been made, but at what cost? Plasmids, this way. I think we've got some more signs here. We got that one from earlier. Over here, the great chain of industry ties and unites us. Okay, you talk about the chain again, coming together of art, science to create industry. The progression of all these individual elements contribute to the whole chain, pulling it, making it stronger. Okay, Gatherer's Garden. Little girl with mushrooms again, mutation. You think of fungus growing. You think of well, I suppose fungus can grow anywhere really, but often when you think of mutations, shrooms growing kind of lead to that kind of plasma, that radioactive element. So let's pick up this and just eject it into us. Why not?
Steady now. Your genetic code is being rewritten. Just hold on and everything will be fine.
Bloody hell.
This little fish looks like he just had his cherry popped. Wonder if he's still got some Adam on him. Hear that? Let's buck. Weak. You're a weak chopper. This little fish ain't worth towing it with no big daddy. Yellow always had been. You'll be no better off with metal daddy, little fish. See you floating from right.
Git.
Look, Mr. Bubbles, it's an angel. I can see light coming from his belly. Wait a minute, he's still breathing. It's all right. I know he'll be an angel soon.
Nice, isn't it?
You all right, boyo? First time plasmid's a real kick from a mule, but there's nothing like a fistful of lightning now, is there?
Okay, so now we have the power to control lightning. Yeah, pretty terrifying, yeah. Surprised we got away unscathed. But yes, there's quite a lot there. We've got these splicers, as they've been called. We can kind of make a little bit of a leap here to these plasmids. We talked about mutation, the plasma, the radioactive. They've clearly have their own powers of some kind, and it's mutated them, which doesn't lend well to us. The little sister there mentioned a glow, which isn't really spoken about again, but I think, again, you talk about the like radioactive isotopes give off these kind of a glow, usually yellowy green. Clearly, we must, after injecting ourselves with it, we're now showing that we've got Adam, as it was put, inside us, and that big needle. So she must collect it. How can we deduce this? Well, the Gatherer's Garden, gathering. The little sisters are there. They gather. Don't know about the big dude in the suit. We can assume if that was the Big Daddy. And those suits seem quite ideal for underwater environments. They must have been utilised for repairs and such. And I think we did actually see one as Rapture was shown to us for the first time. So let's use our new power. Look at that. Now we're cooking with electric. Oh. And that's flooded. And I probably shouldn't have electric up while water's around. So this was part of our plane. And it's only now just descended down to this depth. It's, whoa! Bloody hell. Oh, that's buckling. Oh, better not stand there. Oh, there we go. Right. Just check the notes here. All good. Okay. Oh, hello. It's down here. There's a body over there. Let me eat my potato chips first. Not going to smoke. I don't smoke. Oh, look at him looking at you. Look at that. Ooh, ugly sod. Alright, let's pick that up. Search you. Grab that. He was clearly a protester. How are you not a giant conductor? Yeah, that's very true, I suppose. I think it's all in my boots. You know, it's all down to boots when you're dealing with that kind of stuff. Okay. Let's... Oh! Okay, let's do it.
I just wanted some company.
There we go. That wasn't too difficult. Violence. Post World War II America. Yeah, yeah, I suppose that's true. I mean, you'd have to imagine, yeah, because this would have been built, right, just after the war had finished. Yeah. I mean, conflict does play a big role in this. And so does the war. So does the war. Some of the characters in this game we meet are directly affected by the recent war. That they you know, it was the perfect time to create this world. That sell the idea of a utopia. There had just been a world war, a conflict among nations. Who wouldn't want to run away and hide? You know, lack of a better way of putting it, than to escape that world that caused so much conflicts and disaster and death. Clearly not here. Oh, you don't want to come here. Look at this. Okay, here we go. Let's carry on.
No, please, don't do that. The whole thing will...
Whoa! Oh dear. A nasty fall, wasn't it? Oh, were you in that lift, mate? Just try to sleep it off. Okay, so we have all these hanging down here. Liberty. What the hell does that say? Oh, individualism. Independence. Commerce. Selling. Again, the idea that here you can be what you want to be. Free to pursue whatever you want to pursue. Without fear of judgment, moral implication. Pardon our dust. Let's consider it. Elevator, Excelsior repair. It might need to call them. It looks like we have a lift of our own. But when they thought she was getting away with it. Yeah, it's true.
Listen, I've got a family. I need to get them out of here.
Okay.
But the splicers have cut me off from them. If you can reach them in Neptune's bounty, then maybe, just maybe. I know you must feel like the unluckiest man in the world right now, but you're the only hope I'll ever see my wife and child again. Go to Neptune's bounty. Find my family, please.
Okay, so now we know what Atlas is carrying on his back. His burden, or his secret rather, is the fact that his family are trapped, and he needs them free, and it's weighing him down. I'm not sure why he can't do it himself, but you know, someone's in need. We will help them.
Why aren't you here?
The great chain is guided by our hand. Again, selling the idea of the individual, of our hand, one arm stretched out, pulling the chain tight. If we all did that together, the chain gets stronger. Over here we have a little memorial of Winston Hoffman. I know you can't just make that out, but I got my notes, so I know. So yeah, it made that crap sing under the sea, bloody hell. Yeah, no singing here. Yeah. So yes, William Hoffner. I think the reason why this is here is to show the humanity that once was prevalent here. They went through the same rituals. Okay. Now, in contrast, the blood on the floor, the crazed nutters on fire, for example. Yeah, so there is humanity there. These were people. They were probably very good people, with the same sort of ideals of escape that all of us could probably share at some point. Here's the Kashmir Kashmir restaurant, finery, and here we got. Oh dear, look. It's got a pram. Hello, you all right? Hello. Oh.
Baby and me! Baby and me!
Bugger off. I wouldn't go in there.
Plasma's changed everything. They destroyed our bodies, our minds. We couldn't handle it. Best friends butchering one another. Babies strangled in cribs. The whole city went to hell.
So there you go. I mean, if you've played up to this point, you may have figured it out. The plasmids were the cause for all this, but that's the first time we actually get an explanation of it. But you see how the seeds were planted that you could work it out on your own. What was happening there with these people. So it was these plasmids that have done it. The injection of this atom that has caused these hideous mutations. You have to wonder if there was an addiction there. And inside the cradle was actually a revolver. And what better symbolism to contrast the peaceful nature of a memorial to the death than cradling the weapon of violence, the sheer contrast in the before and after of these plasmids. And here we have, I think we can get a better look at it over here, Rapture, the Masquerade Ball. So we've been seeing some masks on some of these people. Or at least one has, and we'll probably see them again. 1959. So it seems like 1 year ago at least, maybe just over. Seems to be where everything went bad. So it was actually going for about 10 years quite successfully, you can imagine, and this all started to happen. You see the blood there? About a year ago, and it's been like this since. You see the fish there coming out of the water. Here we go, Kashmir restaurant. And here's the Masquerade Ball. I'm assuming they have it. Happy New Year, 1959. So there we go. So it was 1958. Then obviously New Year's Eve, going into 59 when this happened. We're now in 1960, so confirmed it's been a year. Broken tables. Here's the masks. Let's Happy New Year. Happy New Year. I googled Kashmir restaurant, 1 star, food never arrived. Oh, bloody hell. Oh dear. Yeah, well, we'll get out of here very quickly. I'm not surprised though. I mean, look at the state of the place. I would have left us at the moment I walked in. Dancing downstairs. Well, I'm all for dancing. Oh, hello. I shot that bloke.
Charlie, where you going? Charlie.
Finger slipped.
Don't make it double.
Hello. Oh. There you go. Gotcha. Okay. Just killing people, you know. Oh, have you played Burial at Sea? Masquerade Ball was in that DLC. Oh, yeah, it was. It was. I won't go into any more detail, obviously, but it was. Let's, oh, hello. You all right there? Cradling his money. Cradling his money there. We could see how, we'll pick up all this money as well, how the freedom to earn the dollar however you wish can become just as obsessive as perhaps maybe even this atom and these plasmids are. Some things never change. Let's have some fun. Haha, shocking. Yeah. Electrifying. Etc. Yeah. Oh, got too many of them. Alright, good. Okay, now here. Fontaine Futuristics Aquavox Personal Voice Recorder. Recording the thoughts and lives of Rapture citizens for 5 years and counting, Fontaine Futuristics for the City of the Future. Now, this is the first time we'll see, and not the last time we'll see, Fontaine Futuristics. So, yes, the first time we're seeing Fontaine, the name Fontaine, will a very prominent name going forward. And clearly took advantage of this platform he's been given to make some technological advances. Footlight Theatre. Oh, it's closed. Okay, so yes, it's closed for now. We'll have to find another way, and clearly I don't know if I want to go in there. Oh, bloody mess. Come Bite the Apple, Eve's Garden. Now, there's something we should probably mention now we've seen this. Yes, we're injecting Adam into ourselves, which has given us the ability to harness these plasmids. But the blue thing I've been picking up, this injection needle, will refill our ability to harness this Adam, and it's called Eve. And obviously, Adam and Eve. Let me, because I'm still adapting. Let me pull up my notes. Yeah, so obviously, you know, Adam and Eve, the first man and woman, the first of their kind. There is some shady things going on there with that being the first man and woman, but you get the gist. The idea is that they are the creators or God's children, the very first, the creation of man and woman. They're also the masculine and feminine energies that I talked about before. And when you look at the Adam and the Eve fuels the ability to use the Adam. The Adam is the most prominent, is the action-orientated ability, but the Eve is the fuel. Just as the masculine and feminine cannot exist without one another, Adam and Eve cannot exist without one another, and they've been formed as the creation of someone, and they've given us the ability to become meta-humans, superhumans. They are the representation of the literal Adam and Eve. You are able to give new life, new creation to individuals through these. Also, the story of Adam and Eve, I've wrote down here, provide the basis for the fall of man and original sin. Here, the creation of magic powers defies both science and religion. The fall of man would show how abusing such powers can conform people into disobedient beings that need herding. Scroll down there. Okay. I could have remembered that, but I thought it was better to just read the notes, to be honest with you. But and the original sin, of course, the idea that now you're going to regret it. You bit the apple, you've taken the Adam, and look what it's done to you. And I shot there for no reason. So let's move on. Okay, soundstage. I was so excited about talking about Adam and Eve, I wanted to shoot the billboard. So here we have, essentially, Atlas, right? Carrying the globe on his back. How odd that such a figure would be here. And clearly it's Rapture. The globe is representing Rapture. Atlas is carrying Rapture. Now that's interesting because you may be making some conclusions there. But I can tell you that they're probably wrong. And we'll come back to why that is here much later in the story. Okay, we got our first Aquavox. Let's take a listen.
Another New Year's, another night alone. I'm out and you're stuck in Hephaestus, working. Huh. Imagine my surprise. Oh, I guess I'll have another drink. Here's a toast to Diane McClintock, silliest girl in Rapture. Silly enough to fall in love with Andrew Ryan. Silly enough. What happened? I'm bleeding. Oh God. What's happening?
Okay, I think it said welcome to Rapture. So we're seeing the O of the 2, and around here is the Welco. So we heard there Diane McClintock. Some interesting things in that. We've made a connection. There is a place called Hephaestus. We will Hephaestus, a Greek god as well, and we've made a connection there with Ryan. Ryan is in Hephaestus. It's worth remembering that. We'll delve into that much later, but that connection is very important. Diane seems to have been in some kind of relationship, and we heard there that whatever happened, that kicked off the events that have caused this degradation and downfall happened on that New Year's Eve party. While Diane was here, she got caught in the fray, appeared to have been bleeding. Hopefully she was okay. We need to find a way into that theatre. Anyway, hello! Oh, bloody hell. Yeah. Jump scares are not really a thing in this game, if I recall, but that bloody got me. Forgot you were there. Good. Right, it's over here. Okay. We've got a newspaper stand here, so journalism is very prominent as well. You've got freedom of expression, freedom of voice, freedom of criticism. We'll see how that plays out. Gents and dames, we know we're male, so
Too spliced up. I'm too spliced up. Nobody's gonna want me.
okay, what the hell are we doing? Why are we seeing ghosts? Very odd. Now, the immediate thing here is, of course, what's changed? If we were just a normal human being, why are we able to see ghosts? Well, we've injected Adam, haven't we? Oh, thank you very much. Yes, that's kind of the point of these streams. Actually, is to be sort of like that. Every Sunday, you know, we'll be venturing into many games in the future, in this sort of style. But thank you, I appreciate that, and I'm glad that's coming across in that way. But yes, we injected ourselves with Adam, and that's changed. So we may be able to make a link between seeing ghosts. What an odd thing to happen. I wonder why that is happening. Toilets, female toilets. Just wanted to check it out, you know, see if it is all luxury like like people say. And he'll... Oh, look, good job we did. Hole in bathroom wall. Let's have a look.
Hey, Brenda, you care to tell me why you've had a hole in the wall the size of Plymouth Rock coming out of your crapper going on 3 weeks now? Nah, I ain't saying I'm Shakespeare. I'm trying to run a respectable theater. I got working folk coming in from Port Neptune trying to catch a little diversion. And all I can think about is the stink coming out of your shitter.
Oh.
Get it fixed.
Don't blame you. So he runs the theatre next door. Doesn't like quite having a hole in the wall, but a hole in the wall is access. So we'll see if we can find it. Hey, oh, hey, hello. Oh, why do I keep forgetting they were going to come through there? Bloody hell. Okay, all right. Oh, nasty lip on him. How do you keep his glasses on? Oh well. Yes, right. Okay, and we've heard Neptune twice there. There's a place called Neptune. Again, another connection to the Greeks. When we reach there, we'll delve into that. So let's go into the gents. There should be a hole somewhere around here. And more jump scares, please. And oh, look, here we go.
Careful now. Would you kindly lower that weapon for
Sure.
a minute?
Ooh. This is quite precarious. Let's crouch here.
You think that's a child down there? Don't be fooled. She's a little sister now. Somebody went and turned a sweet baby girl into a monster. Whatever you thought about right and wrong on the surface, well, that don't count for much down in Rapture. Those little sisters, they carry Adam, the genetic material that keeps the wheels of Rapture turning. Everybody wants it, everybody needs it.
Okay, so we now know that they are injecting people, bodies, I hope, and taking their Adam, because pretty much everyone is using these things. They all have the glow that she can see, and she's harnessing the Adam. She is gathering, just like the Gatherer's Garden implied. Okay, but she's all alone down there, quite vulnerable. Let's go down and say hello. Oh, can't go back up there. Oh, uh-oh. Oh, bloody hell, shut up. Oh, oi, there was only for that. Oh!
That's the big daddy. She got his Adam. He keeps her safe.
Okay, so now we know the role. No, he didn't stand a chance, to be fair, no. With his flimsy little wrench. Okay, so we know the role of the Big Daddy. We know that it's a protector. He won't be in Bioshock 2. No, that's very true. Yeah, so again, I should point out that the Big Daddy, the little sister, again, we got that symbiosis of masculine and feminine, just like the Adam and the Eve. That balance there. Very prominent, and a protector as well, very protector. So it looks like the suits were used for maintenance, as we saw when we opened when we first entered Rapture, but clearly have been adopted and changed, perhaps once this Adam and these plasmids became quite prominent in the society of Rapture. Okay, let's venture on. I think I've got these for that. Let me whack that open. This bit's a little nod, and it's very easy to miss. But here we go. Although it's right in front of you. Happy Chappy now showing. Top left corner there. Sander Cohen's Happy Chappy. Okay, the first mention of Sander Cohen, and we're gonna meet Sander Cohen later, and we'll see what his role is in this story. But if you didn't know, that's the first mention of him. They must not be married. I don't know, they don't look all that pleased, to be fair, so I suppose they could be. No offence to... I don't know, I'm not married, I don't know what it's like. Alright, give me a break. Alright, and we got it there again. I don't know why they bothered to put the same poster there and there, to be honest with you. Oh, it's there again. I swear the original had different posters there. That is weird. But, you know, freedom of expression. We're going to go in here, see the carnage. Loot bodies. Triple happy chappy, yeah. Budgeting cuts. Yeah, perhaps. No, I'm sure there was other posters there. We're going to go over here and grab this director's commentary. Oh no. Oh no, I don't want to play film. Oh, I've unlocked it now. Okay, so I don't have to physically have to pick it up. I hope not. All right. Let's move on. Over here, this was the entrance that we tried to get into, and it's all boarded up. Well, blocked really. Eve again there, in case we missed it before. The Vita chamber. Over here. Oh. Hello. That was the most delayed response to being shot I've ever seen. What a death! What a death! What a way to go. Okay. Affordable endings. Funeral home. Haven't you already paid enough? It's already selling death as well. And in a place where... Obviously you're not selling, you know, actual death. You're not saying, oh, come here, I'll kill you. But she's acting hard. Yeah, I suppose she was. Very stiff movements, wasn't it? Oh, now she is a stiff. But obviously they're not actually selling death. Although, to be fair, I suppose that would be okay as well here. But I don't know. The big billboard for death, selling, harnessing death for capitalistic gain. You can see that there's different levels of morals that are being crossed in different ways, and that's no more prominent than this here. Andrew Ryan's favourite gal. We already met Diane, but this is posted up on the wall. Andrew Ryan's favourite girl, Jasmine Jolene. Limited time engagement. Okay? So it's not just a performer who does a sensual act. Engagement. Actual engagement. There's obvious implications there. Okay? Jasmine Jolene, if people have played this game and know, please don't put it in the chat. I'd rather if people didn't know they don't get it spoiled. But this is a nice look into, if you've played it before, how early in the game this is posted on the wall, and the irony in a way of me looking at it as Jack. Okay, so let's venture on. Hey, oh, he's throwing stuff at me. Hey, what is wrong with these people? Don't they know how to get shot? We need to get better extras in this place. Okay. New area. Oh, down there. Neptune's Bounty. Here we go. Eve, plasmids, in case you missed them before. Again, they're repeating them, and it's a good job they do repeat them, because you start to notice these unconsciously. Even if you don't stand to look and oh, we got Poseidon there, Poseidon Plaza as well. Obviously not the... obviously it's the equivalent of Neptune. But you'll subconsciously take these in the more you pass them. So even if you don't stand to read them, you're taking it in. And the game gives you what you need to make sense of things later on, even if you're not aware of the fact that it's doing so. Let's buzz off. Wait for that to settle down, I think. There we go. Let's take them. Take them. Hello. It's flooded here. Let's go down. Oh! Altruism is the root of all wickedness. So if they hadn't driven home the point thus far of the Ayn Rand objectivism stance, this kind of puts the final nail in the coffin. Absolutely saying that the only real immoral act here is to think of others. Wow. Crazy. And to have it posted up as well. And people are here. People are here. Like I said, they're good people wanting a utopia for many different reasons, but this is what they were sold when they bought it. Are they suckers? Are they fools? Or do they believe as well? Okay. What was that? Medical pavilion there. Oh, what's this? We shine shoes. We shine shoes. Bathroom. Another hole in a bathroom wall. No symbolism for that, I don't think. Although, do you want me to make some symbolism out of that? I've never even thought of before. I talked about masculine and feminine before. Hole in the walls. Connecting both together. You know. That's just nonsense, really. That's just level design. Okay. Let's have a look in there. Oh no, why'd I drink that? I wanted to do a playthrough where I didn't drink anything. That's my fault for just quickly hitting E. Oh dear, never mind. Alright. I don't normally drink, that just fell into my mouth. Alright, let's go into Neptune's bounty. And get Atlas's family.
Security alert in progress.
Oh! Oh! Doesn't look like we're going that way. Oh, hello. Gotcha. Okay. A little bit of combat here. Oh. Oh, that's locked as well. Oh. Go on, jump in, jump in. Well, that was stupid, wasn't it? She jumped into it.
They shut off access to Neptune. There's another way to get there. Head to medical. What are you waiting for? Go!
I just want to search these bodies for loot, Atlas. Okay, let's go. Let's go before more show up. Well, maybe that's true. Yeah. Medical pavilion, here we go. Alright. Oh. Bugger.
Oh, Christ! You're trapped! Gonna try to override the exit from here.
Oh.
So tell me, friend, which one of the bitches sent you? The KGB wolf or the CIA jackal? Here's the news. Rapture isn't some sunken ship for you to plunder. And Andrew Ryan isn't a giddy socialite who can be slapped around by government muscle. And with that, farewell, or das Vodania, whichever.
Farewell. You know, I prefer that. Don't understand the other one. So he thinks we're a spy of some kind, which would imply that perhaps there have been other spies in the past. Oh dear. Oh. Yeah, I'm going. Hello, I'm Sol. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you liked it enough to perhaps even subscribe. And that would be very well received by myself. Notification bell as well, because you know what it's like. But more importantly, if you like what you saw and want to see it live with all the edits, you can head over to Twitch. Twitch at Soul the Seeker. You can see the links below, as always, and you can watch me live every Sunday. We'll be doing an analysis stream. I will try to speak better than this. Yeah, so all the links are there. There's always ways to engage with me. But thank you for taking your time to watch this, and I'll see you next time. Farewell.